So today Ignition is on a power trip.
A pretty literal one.
Quite literally. We're at Kelvin Power Station in Gauteng. It was built in 1956 and like all power stations, it has to start becoming more environmentally friendly.
Yeah, this is how things used to work. Power generated in this way, and they've had to find new ways, just like the motor industry has had to suddenly consider the environment. Electric cars is obviously where they want to go, but I think that's a long way away. The short-term solution is hybrids.
And what we want to find out today, with the help of Honda's new CR-Z, as you call it, is where the hybrid can really be sexy and provide a sexy drive.
The wide track and sculpted body make the CR-Z immediately attractive, but its real beauty lies in the details. The split-level hatchback, for instance, hints at the 1984 CRX, but it was designed with 21st century aerodynamics in mind. And all of this pays off when you reach a set of bends.
Everybody that was on the launch has just raved about the handling of the car. So what is it that they've actually done to make it handle so well?
Well, what was cool, at the launch they had Tomobi-san, who is the man in charge of CR-Z, the project leader. But I think the guy that's going to be getting all the high fives and going to get spoiled and all the credit really is Torikai-san, who was the man responsible for dynamics and handling. And the whole idea behind this was to create a car that was going to be sporty, fun for everyday application.
And it is.
Yeah, I don't believe this was developed right at the beginning for hybrid. I think this was developed for something way more powerful, because the setup and the drive, you can feel like you can put a way more powerful engine plant in here and it's going to just hold true. What they've done is they've obviously made this car a lot lower. I mean, it's set up off the original Jazz platform. So the weight distribution, because the battery pack sits on the rear axle and then your weight's in the front with your 1.5
and that you feel
engine.
When you go around corners, you feel the weight.
It's amazing, because this car, you expect it to do what most front-wheel drive cars do when you pitch in the corners, just understeer rather wildly. But there's almost this feeling of real weight in the butt, and that just pulls you through the bends really well. And I think, we were just amazed when we were driving through these mountain passes, because it doesn't chatter your teeth. So they haven't set this up that it's this really hard, firm ride like the Civic Type R is, so that everyday practicality comes through. But it is just amazing the way it tracks and turns in. And the biggest change for me, and you said it to me, you push the sport button, what's the thing you feel immediately?
The steering just weights up immediately and you just feel such a difference.
And that is what you want, I think, when you're driving any car. When you start driving it harder and faster, you don't want that light vagueness that most cars have. And that for me is, forget the sport button for performance and power. It's just what it does in terms of the dampening of the steering and adding that weight to it.
Well, this is the interesting thing. You're going on and on and on about the handling, and ultimately, what everyone's going to think about this car, it's a hybrid.
Yeah.
So, and that's not what people are focusing on with this car. So that's great. I mean, ultimately, though, you did get good consumption. You drove all the way back from Kruger Park and you got 6.
I was sitting at 6.2, which is actually it's what they're claiming.
From a hybrid point of view, do they have the servicing and backup and all that kind of stuff? Because obviously this is, hybrids new for Honda in South Africa.
Serviced at any single one of the Honda dealerships. Nothing special that needs to get done. The battery pack they're saying has got a 50-year, 250,000 kilometer life cycle. So, I mean, that's plenty. The secret to this car is they've kept that Honda heritage.
Yes, absolutely.
In terms of that sports feel, because we all cried when S2000 was gone.
It's a pleasant car to drive, whatever mode you're driving in. Okay, economy you're only going to use around town when you're not driving quickly. And sport when you want a little bit more performance. It's a real multitasker.
It's a Honda, isn't it?
Inside, there's a curious Back to the Future feel. The futuristic instrument cluster glows in different colors, depending on how heavily your right foot is applied, while the low-slung driving position and creamy leather upholstery lend a retro air to the cabin. It's well built and all the controls fall easily to hand, but in terms of space, the CR-Z is only an occasional 2+2. Rather fold down those tiny rear seats and free up some extra room for luggage.
I thought that I was going to find you absolutely overjoyed and madly in love with this car, but you're just not delivering it in your approach at the moment. You're lukewarm.
Maybe I haven't spent enough time with it. Maybe that's it. But it's kind of like, yes, I wanted to marry the Type R. This is the kind of car that your mother wants you to marry, because it's responsible and it's good looking and you'll have great looking kids. And it's a multitasker. It's got everything, but the pierced ears and tattoos of the Type R still do it for me. So I don't know what's missing. Maybe it is just a time factor. I do like the car, but I'm just not about it.
Well, that's given us a lot of insight into the type of guys that Lindsay Vine actually likes. What I find amazing is I don't think people are going to buy this car because it's a hybrid.
No.
Prius you're going to buy because you're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Finally, a hybrid is sporty, sexy, it looks good.
I think you're buying this car for the looks. Ultimately,
Definitely.
you're going to buy this car for the looks. And once you get in and drive it, you're going to be even more sold on it. And the hybrid part, that's just a bonus.
Sleek, sexy, sporty, everyday fun. 10 out of 10 for them, I think.
I'm going to spend some more time with it.